Hey everybody, Rich Lovell with the Lovell Baseball Barn, Master Instructor with Epstein Hitting System and Online Hitting Academy. If you haven't done so already, please hit the subscribe button and don't forget the notifications button to receive all future videos. So I recently did a video talking about increasing power, but first working on fundamentals and consistency. Then I talked a little bit about torque and ground force. In that video, I mentioned a little bit about the back foot, and some people might say backside, but specifically back foot and back leg. And this is for your more advanced player or someone you've been working with that understands that once we get into our launch position, like so, that we don't want to change too much in our posture. What I find when I first start working with someone, if I start talking about how we push a little bit off our backside, their first reaction is to push up, and then we've lost everything, all right? So again, this is for the more advanced player. If we can start thinking about sitting back into our back hip here, and we start putting more pressure and weight to the inside of our foot. Now, I'm exaggerating this knee to the inside part of my back foot first, because typically I would be kind of like here, but I really want to exaggerate that. And again, this is before the swing initiates, so I'm getting them to really sit into their back hip here, like so that we really get this tension into the back hip. We load this thing up so that when we release, we increase our ground force pressure here. So again, I can't reiterate this enough, that this is for the more advanced hitter that understands that once we get into our posture, this is where we stay. To use kind of a baseball term, we need to stay into our legs. But the idea is to really sit back into this back hip, still staying centered, so that whenever I release here, I can add a little bit more force into my front foot to create a little bit more ground force, which then equals into power. So real quick, if I'm getting ready to stride, I'm just going to sit back into this back hip, and you can see I'm really forcing this knee inside my back foot, and again, I'm not pushing so much as that pressure is making me go forward, or that pressure is pushing me forward. Then if I've got a player that is really getting into this, then I'll teach them as you squat or load back into this back hip, you can really drive off that back leg. But again, once I get here, I'm pushing forward, but I'm not doing this. And that's what I see in a lot of players. By the time they get to contact, this back leg is almost completely straight. If your player does not show the aptitude to stay into their legs, stop that, move forward, and just work on torque and a little bit of ground force. Then come back to that later. That'll help you out. Hope the video helps you out. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, notifications button, and share it with everybody you know.